welcome it on in. I'm your host. I'm actually your hosting today. I'm Kevin. I am the youngest one here. My anxiety's going through the roof, but it's okay.
Nobody can tell.
You seem so comfortable
I know.
right now. Oh my God.
I'm calm. But I'm here today with my boys, Mike.
Hello there.
Here on the 1-2s, George.
What's up?
And Larry in the middle. Just sitting there. Look at all cute. Look at him.
Is everybody cute to you?
You're adorable.
I know.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
All right. Well, yes, I am actually hosting today because it was Larry's idea. Thanks,
Yes.
Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Do you know why it's my great idea to have you do it?
Because it was my idea for the episode.
And why is that, Kev?
Because we have nothing else to talk about.
Shoot him in the face.
Jesus. Okay, Larry going to take over for about 10 seconds. Right now, Kevin is in charge because this is our video game episode. Yay!
Yay!
Episode 29, right?
Ish.
Ish. More like
All
20,
right.
more like 28, but whatever. It's our video game episode.
28.5.
I take that. So it's a video game episode, and who's in charge of all gaming?
Me.
Kevin.
Hi. How are you?
So now, Kevin,
yes.
take over.
So, PlayStation Showcase happened last week. This past Wednesday, I was lucky to be off and watch the whole thing, unlike everyone here.
Lucky.
But it's okay. So we all got to see a few trailers. There were a few that were hits. Some of them were and some of them we don't really know about. But boys, I'm going to go look at you guys for a second. Which trailer were you most excited for after seeing it? What game were you excited for?
Spider-Man.
Let's say that wasn't even the question.
Spider-Man.
All right, because
Okay.
I'm always the left turn guy. Metal Gear Delta.
Yes, I'm glad you said that, Mike, because that's the first time we're going to talk about Metal Gear Solid, people. We got a whole remake coming. We saw Snake. And if you pre-order, you get the 3 original games. I know, Mike, you are the Metal Gear Solid head over here. So what'd you think?
So Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater was the first game that I ever felt truly immersed in. It is a prequel to Metal Gear Solid. It stars the big boss rather, in his first missions. Did you just do that again, dude? Once is an accident, twice is a pattern.
Andy, I'm sorry.
Someone's getting a payroll deduction.
This is what happens when Larry
You
doesn't
gotta
host.
zoom in on this part here, okay? And the funny part is, Larry looked me dead in the eye. Before it happened, he looked at me, he was like,
I heard a snap, and I look at him, I see is this.
Oh my God! Oh jeez. I have 25 cents in my car.
you have a massively strong thumb.
This thing had 4 weeks to retirement, man. It's done.
Oh
my God.
No pension for you, Clippy.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Snake Eater.
Let's get right back on track, right?
Super glue.
Jesus.
Super glue.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
This is what happens when you don't host.
I know, he gets bored and distracted. Jeez.
And chooses violence and chooses chaos.
Bully Marshall has struck again,
Bully
guys.
Marshall.
Just takes his Ritalin.
Oh my God. Yo, that was
Tears.
great. Okay.
Skadoosh.
It was the face, because I knew what happened. All I see is.
Okay.
Larry.
All right.
Hands here.
No, hands behind your back, sir.
Okay. Snake Eater, yay!
So,
Either, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 3, prequel to all the other Metal Gear games, where you play as
Snake.
Naked Snake. I'm sorry. And it's actually ends up being Big Boss, but it's a ground up. It's from the bottom ground up remake of the game. It's not the first remake that's ever been done for Metal Gear. I was saying to these guys earlier, there was a game for GameCube called Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, where they took the original Metal Gear Solid and put it through the lens of the Sons of Liberty game engine, and that was amazing. And that came out 2003 or 4. So it's been a while since we got a full remake of a Metal Gear game. There's no gameplay footage in the trailer, but there are a lot of little hints of areas that were in the game. You see Grozny Grad. You see the river that leads to Grozny Grad. You end up seeing the End's parrot. And as he's flying through the fence, if you look up in the top corner, we can see the Shagohod, which is the original prototype for Metal Gear, or the Russian prototype, rather. That's being escorted by a bunch of helicopters to the Grozny Grad military base.
So I have a question. So it's called Snake Eater,
Yes.
right? And Snake Eater, if I'm correct, that was in the official title of the original Metal Gear Solid.
Yep, number 3.
Well, Metal Gear.
Metal Gear Solid 3,
So
Snake
there's
Eater.
Metal Gear, and then there's Snake's Revenge,
Right.
Which
was not
that's not canon,
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And then there was Metal Gear 2, which was put out on some weird
Sons of Liberty.
Japanese. So Sons of Liberty was
Number
Metal Gear
2.
Solid 2. So there's 2 Metal Gear NES games,
And then
or 8-bit
Metal
games.
Gear 3 was called Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Okay, so part 3. So that's not the one that was on PlayStation.
No, I don't believe
No,
so.
Metal Gear Solid was on PlayStation.
Correct.
Metal
Okay.
Gear Solid 2 and 3 were on PlayStation 2.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's coming out this fall, so they're probably still working on.
Should be almost done, all the details. On
Yeah, at this point,
on
it's
that
just
game.
marketing.
Like,
Yeah. Probably fine detail stuff. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, it was just announced also on David Hayter's social media that the original voice cast is returning.
Oh.
Whether they're recording new stuff or just being like reused, I don't know. For Twin Snakes, it was a full re-recording of all of the dialogue. Hideo Kojima, so far to my knowledge, is not involved with this, which is a
that's a
big
That's a
like
big L.
yeah, that's not good because
Not at all.
there were a couple Metal Gear games made without him, including
Snake's Revenge.
Snake's Revenge, and then
that
there was
the worst one out of.
there was Rising, which was the riding game that didn't have him in it, and that felt like it was missing something. And then there was Metal Gear Survivor or something, where they took the Fox engine and made like a zombie game, and that like bomb bad.
I never even heard of it. So
But I mean, he was done really dirty through Konami. Maybe they'll bring him back. I don't know. I hope they bring him back. But David Hayter's back. I'll take that any day.
one second.
Are any of you guys like familiar with the story of Metal Gear?
Nope, not me.
I mean, I played bits and pieces of it, but it wasn't like I didn't go through a full game.
I only played Snake on Super Smash Bros.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there we go.
So I beat the original Metal Gear. I beat Snake's Revenge. I don't really remember the third one as much, but the Solid Snake from the from the PlayStation.
Yes.
When that got released, that was one of my all-time favorite next-gen games.
Oh, dude, I was obsessed with that. Me and my
That game was
buddy,
amazing.
the guy who lived down the street from me, we got a demo from the PlayStation magazine, and we played that demo over and over and over again. Just the 3D graphics, everything was so captivating, the characters, everything. But Metal Gear Solid 3, you end up going into a Russian jungle, and it's just so immersive, and you really feel like every landscape is different. You end up having to refill your stamina. This is before like that was a big thing. They added like RPG elements to it. You had to like trap animals to eat them. You had a camo index, so you had to like put different clothes on for different areas.
Oh, that's dope. I like that.
And then the story, I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending is probably the best plot twist I've ever seen in a video game ever. It still hits me emotionally hard to this day.
Well, it's funny. I mean, espionage has been the key to Metal Gear. Mm-hmm. And like espionage and the who's on your side, who's not.
That plays a lot into this game. Or the story, anyway.
Yeah, and it has been like for all of them.
Yeah.
I know, in my opinion, like Metal Gear was one of the first games, especially when they had like the weird top view type of view in the first couple, whereas it was important for you to upgrade or get things to upgrade your weapons. That was one of the first games that ever had that. It's like, all right, you can have your revolver, but you need to have that silencer so nobody will find you.
Oh,
so it's like,
that's
you have
cool.
to go out of your way to find your silencer. And like, where do you get it? Oh, you get it from over here. And then you gotta do all this stuff to get it. And like,
So
all that
like,
stuff like that.
Solid or Snake always gets like sent into an area with like nothing, and he usually just shows up on the scene with like a box of cigarettes, and they come in handy. He uses them.
Start throwing cigarette darts.
Well, no, he uses them to find like infrared, like tripwires and stuff.
Wait,
so you
what?
like, yeah, you start like smoking in the game, and like they'll show like infrared
So he
laser
would
beams and
smoke,
stuff.
and it would
Yeah.
show the.
Right.
And
Oh,
like,
that's
dude, this is
crazy.
a PlayStation 1.
Wow.
And like it would like deplete your health if you started smoking.
Yeah.
So it was wholesome. It let you know it wasn't the best thing to do.
But
It
in
was also
cases
telling
that
you
I needed to
smoking's
get
bad
out,
for you.
yeah, it was like if I needed to get out or something, let me have a cigarette smoke. Oh, there's lasers. Okay.
Exactly.
But it also didn't. It also allowed you to, if you wanted to trick the enemy to think that you was in a certain area, you'll puff smoke here and you go away, and they'll
And then
lead
like
the enemies
if it's
to
like
smoke.
snowing, like they could follow your footsteps. Dude, PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
That's crazy that they thought so deep into that. I've never played any of them, but like,
Well, let's take it
Now I
all
kinda
the
want
way
to.
back to the first like Nintendo games. You
Yeah.
could put on a cardboard box to trick the guards.
Yeah,
That's like kind of like the call.
well, that
thing.
was in the Smash Brothers thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's been like since like Nintendo. Like you
Really?
like don like a cardboard box. To
the
try
thing.
to
The
trick
thing
guards.
that I've always seen when they make fun of Metal Gear Solid, it's the
cardboard box.
cardboard box.
That's awesome.
I used to be the one to get caught while I was in the box.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to move while I was still in it. Like, ooh, what's that?
in your head, in your box, you're like,
It's a giant rat.
That's the other thing. Like the environments are like historically super interactive, and I can't wait to see like actual gameplay to see like what the environments are going to be like. Because in the PlayStation version, you could like shoot bees nests off of trees to get them like sting guards and stuff.
That's kind of cool. It's making you think outside the box of a normal like,
Definitely,
game. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's what Metal Gear Solid was all about. And that's what Metal Gear was all about.
The story. Oh, I wish like it just punches you in the gut so hard at the end, and it's.
But in the same token, if you're not into it, you can get lost so quick.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy, ridiculous story, but
And it just keeps going.
it does. And that soundtrack, like they use like the Snake Eater song. I love that song. I don't care. You guys know me. I'm kind of a score whore. And, like when they're like Snake Eater, like come on, man, that's perfect. I love that song. I can't wait.
Well, we got the Jersey Club remix one.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
yeah,
To be continued on that one.
yeah, exactly. But anything else? Anything else that caught your guys' eye during the showcase?
Oh, I did like that Phantom. Oh, was it the Phantom Blade?
Phantom
Fan Blade Zero. Mhm.
That looks really
looks
really cool.
fantastic.
And it was one of those like I didn't watch the showcase or anything like that, but we just watched a couple of them beforehand, and that one's crazy because the fighting is like realistic. So have you guys ever played? There was a game that came out on like PS4, and it was a fighting game. Dang, what's it called? I can't figure it out. But the fighting mechanics was like you would change your fighting stance according to what the other player was fighting stance was
Really?
like. Yeah, so you're fighting, so you have to change your guard in order for you to actually attack.
PS4, that sounds like Bushido Blade.
It's kind of like Bushido Blade, but it was they had like different character factions. So it was
Okay.
like samurai, Vikings,
wow.
Chinese warlord and stuff like that. Like, and they got like really deep into it. And they were able to go ahead and have like your fighting style would change according to your angle. So like if you have your guard this way, then your other person, in order for them to counter, it has to do the opposite so they can go ahead and catch it.
They want you to really think about.
Yeah, so it's more like I'm not just hitting a button and I'm like slashing, and that's what the Phantom Blade Zero kind of gave me the idea because of the parry system looks so crazy.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah,
I
because,
was trying to like figure that out, and like the only thing my head can wrap around is like, is it like the right analog stick? Like
I don't know.
have no idea.
It reminded me of like you ever played all the Dragon Ball Z games, and when you would do like the one fight where they would kind of just like punching each other and like blocking. It kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
So like as you're fighting, like I wonder if you guys hit the attack button at the same time. Do you guys just clash swords? You know what I mean? Like that looks really cool. And then just the acrobatics in it. I mean, it's nuts.
That was pretty insane.
Yeah,
And
that
it
game was-
reminds me like it looks like they're putting an emphasis on like kind of like bombastic out there bosses,
yeah.
like Dark Souls. Almost. Like,
Very big dark, and I thought that it looked very like Elden Ring because
Yeah.
I just got finished playing that, and I'm like, yeah, that's huge. It looks just like it, but it looks like the fighting system is going to be very big on like just counterattack. You know what I mean? Like not just running in and just like you said, button mashing. Like, you got to think about your attacks.
I wonder if they did the motion capture like they do with most games now when it comes to fighting.
Most, yeah. I mean, probably not all of it though, because some of that stuff is a little crazy. Like he went and like did like a sideways spin kick into like a slash out like this. I'm like,
You
ooh.
never know.
I mean, listen, if somebody can do that, I am not fighting you.
You don't need the face. All you gotta need is just this movement. You never
I mean,
know.
it could be. Could
Yeah.
be. Mocap on that would be crazy.
Yeah.
no, and let's also say like it's a game that's not a sequel. It's like a fresh IP, and that's always good to see.
Well, and I actually thought, like, watching the trailer, it looked like Ghost of Tsushima. Like, and then it wound up being not
It got
anything
huge
tied to it.
Terashima vibes.
Yeah, so it's like, it looks very similar, though. Like, very Western samurai themed kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
so it's kind of cool. I was
A
into that one.
lot of this whole showcase was sequels to games that I personally never even heard of. And then you got the Final Fantasy stuff, and you got the
I mean, when don't you have a Final Fantasy story?
that Final Fantasy game looks pretty cool to me.
Dude, listen, Final Fantasy's
They
always
all
been
do,
so good.
And then
I
you
never
play
got
'em.
into it, but like I've always kind of wanted to. But I think this game is where I finally get into it.
I think the last one I played was 15, and that one reminded me of like a lot
So
of
the
Kingdom
last one?
Hearts. Yeah, the last one. Yeah, but how many years ago was that? No, because technically they came out with the remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Exactly. That
But
was the last one.
that they just
This one's
keep
16.
robbing me.
Because people pay it.
But here's the thing.
Because it's the thing that everyone wants.
But we haven't gotten a second episode. Oh no, all right. So we got a DLC, yeah, with Yuffie, but we didn't get the continuation of the game. We are still at the end of Midgar. Like I want, dude, that's something that Sony
As-
has to just give us the entire game for
I stopped playing.
and stop
as
playing.
much
Like,
as I absolutely love Final Fantasy VII.
I don't know anything you guys are saying.
you never played Final Fantasy VII?
I just said I never played it.
Dude, 1997, that thing came out and changed my life.
Dude, I played
Hands
that
down.
on a TV that was this big, like
Yeah.
a 10-inch, because it was the only one that had like a digital input that I could plug
Yeah.
my PlayStation in.
This is the time for me to break stuff.
Don't get mad at the kid. Don't get mad at the kid.
I said I never played it.
Oh man. Oh, now your
Demonetized.
It's gonna be even
Be
more
like,
Shocker!
This is Kevin's neck. Oh!
Instead of you saying that word, I'll go shocker.
I'm sorry. That's the bad.
Yeah, I said I never played Final Fantasy.
Okay.
I think this is the game that I want. I think I should get into.
Okay, you're starting off with the wrong one. Final Fantasy VII. Now we're about to hit 16 now, right?
Yes, we're at 16.
Final Fantasy VII is the only game out of Final Fantasy where anybody is like, I need more of Final Fantasy
Yes.
VII.
Yes.
Out of 16 games, 7 is the only one. And it had the best hero and the best villain
Yes.
in the history of almost all video games.
That's why they put him in Kingdom Hearts.
And dude, he was played by Lance Bass of NSYNC.
I know that throws me off to this day. Yeah, it's so funny. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, that is gospel truth. But Final Fantasy VII, like looking back on it, it broke RPGs for me because it is like the standard I hold it to. That story was so out there and so crazy, and so gut wrenching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
man.
character designs were amazing. The motorcycle vehicle designs were nuts.
The mini game inside the game.
Dude, there was a whole fair.
Like it was a
mini
yeah. You go. Was it the golden egg or
Corral?
something like that? Golden Corral.
Is someone hungry?
Was it golden carousel?
It was golden something.
It was
Saucer. Golden saucer.
golden saucer. There we go.
Yep.
He said golden corral. I'm done. You hungry, Mike?
It might be. I had SpaghettiOs with meatballs.
Remember what was it? The Chocoboos?
Yes.
Old Chocobo
Bro.
with the Knights of the Round.
Yes. And then you were able to like get different colors of them, and they were all have different attributes.
And you had to breed them in a certain way and then
Yeah.
run them across the world to get like the golden one to get that stupid.
Okay.
Oh, what were they called? Materia.
Yes.
Kev.
Oh my God.
Final Fantasy VII was one of the first games where we, as the geeks that we are, will brag on the fact that I spent over 100 hours playing it and loved every bit of it. Was pissed off when you actually beat it.
Oh, you know what I did
Yo.
though? Before I got to the final ending, I saved the game so I
Yup.
can keep playing and doing stuff.
The same guy we played that Metal Gear game with, he like made me beat it because I didn't want to beat the final boss. He was like, "No, you have to do this." My buddy Chris, he was like, "You have to do this, Mike." I'm like, "I don't want to."
So you want to know something funny though? So the remake version of it with like the Final Fantasy one, I still am at the end where Aerith would have died, and I haven't did it yet.
Spoiler alert.
He hasn't played it. He's not going to.
You don't care.
There ain't no
You don't care
spoilers.
about the best game.
I mean, that
came
spoiler is
out
like
1999.
how many years
How can I
in the
play
making?
it? Well, here's the thing. How can I play it now?
It's on PS5.
Is it?
The remake is on there, so at least you.
We just literally just got finished saying that's the last.
And
Final Fantasy
technically,
game.
they have the actual classic version on the PlayStation Store. You can buy it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you don't
And
need
it's-
3 discs like you did back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
might
it's,
buy
it. 3 or 4?
it's not like it's not like
4.
a swords and sorcery type of game. It's like set in the future, in this city called Midgard. It's very futuristic, and then you break out of that city, and it kind of gets into like a little bit more medieval, but it's still you fly around on a big giant airship.
And then you got massive character listing.
Yeah,
And
you got
every
this guy with like a
character is
gun
so
on his hand.
Oh,
like, and
Vincent?
Barrett.
Oh, Barrett.
Remember Barrett was
Yo.
cursing all the time.
Yeah. You just see like the little like whatever symbols.
asterisks and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, the good old days.
And the music. Oh my
Oh,
God. The music.
Yeah.
That like open world theme. Oh, not even that. So like you pop the disc in, you put it in, and it plays like that opening prelude thing.
Yes.
And like then,
Yes.
like it hits that crescendo, and like the meteor shows up, and the screen turns white. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That-
Wow.
okay.
Larry, now I see why you like being the host. Because just seeing watching you three just go over something, it's pretty funny.
That's it. It's pretty good. But no, it's that game. How many? What is like 8? It's like almost 10 characters in that game.
It was a
Let's see,
pretty
we got-
extensive.
We got Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Sid,
Vincent.
Vincent,
Yuffie,
Yuffie, Kate Sith,
Trying to think. There
Red,
was
Red 13.
Red 13. Yes. Oh my God.
So probably 8
it was right.
Okay.
And you were able to make your own like
teams.
So like
And-
you can build your team. So you can swap 4 and
And
4.
each character, you were able to like equip different things instead of like this guy's lightning and this girl's healing. It was you could equip different magic abilities to them
according to their weapons. On their weapons, yeah.
And there's like almost everybody's 4. I know. Okay, my 4 was Cloud.
I thought it was 3. Was it 3 or 4?
You would do
4.
no, it was 3.
It was
only
3.
three?
It was 3.
Oh, yeah.
It was 3 characters at a time.
Why
Yeah.
do I remember
Because you're
it
thinking
4?
of 8.
Yeah, because 8 allowed you to do Final Fantasy 8 was let you do the 4 characters.
Okay, so my 3 was always Cloud because you had to have Cloud in the 3.
Big old Buster sword.
So yeah, so you had to have Cloud. Mine was Yuffie,
Yeah.
Okay.
and every once in a while I went from Vincent to Barrett.
Okay.
And after a while, like you know, like Tifa was my girl, and then
Tifa was
dropped
always
her
in there.
off, and then it went like Vincent or Barrett because I always needed gunpowder.
Yeah, you need that long range.
Yeah. So like that was my.
I
3.
feel like I was always like Cloud, Sid. Because like Sid's like limit breaks, he'd bring in like
Yeah, with the
Highwind.
freaking the high wind was crazy. He would just bring the ship in and just like
Yup. And it sounded just like that.
I played a lot, sir.
And I think I flapped between like Vincent and I think I used Yuffie as like my healing character.
And when
It's powerful for me.
And when Larry said that people wanted more, they made so much extensions to that. Like Advent Children was amazing.
Dirge
then they
Cerberus.
had Dirge of Cerberus was so good. Then
Children's amazing movie.
and then
Yeah.
they just like
Dude, I remember like that coming out. We ended up like trying to get a bootleg. Remember when we
Yeah.
worked at the store together?
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be great."
Because we couldn't
Yep.
find it. We couldn't find the original DVD anywhere.
I have it.
And then
I still have my. I think I have a
have mine.
Blu-ray of it.
I do.
It's amazing.
I'm
It's
gonna watch
absolutely
it.
Amazing. But it's like there's not many games that we actually say like, I want, like, even we have movies and other add-ons, and then Kingdom Hearts have those characters showing their faces in them, and we're still like, okay, we still kind of want more.
I want
We want
the
more.
extra stuff on the remake. Just
I
give me
agree.
that.
So
How about this?
as
Give us the rest of the game.
Yeah, Sony.
as a guy who's like taken a huge step back from gaming, there are certain titles that resonate in my heart and my head that I still think about a lot. And Final Fantasy VII, with those characters, that story, that world, still something I think about. If probably weekly, if not like every other day, like something pops and reminds me of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where like I'm like, man, I would love to go back to that world.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that like I said, that was the initiation to RPG games for me.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
You know,
So
not for
and
me, but
here's
for
my
me.
here's my other really big like heart wrench with that game. Do you guys remember Mega Memory Cards?
yes.
Yes.
So I had
How
a
many-
Mega Memory
Even
card,
I know
and I
that
was on
one.
disc.
Yeah.
I know that one. I know that
You're
one.
not that young, sir.
I know.
It did when I switched the page. Like, and it deleted all of my
Everything.
stuff, and I was like, "No!" Dude,
You know
I
what,
had-
though? I would've
dude,
took
I
that
had
as a-
Alexander materia. I had what you had to find in like the Blizzard level. I'd never got it again because it was so annoying.
yes.
And then I had Knights of the Round. All got erased. I had
Wait, did you guys ever fight like the Emerald weapon
yes. Did I beat him? No,
in Ruby?
no.
No?
I fought him and never beat him. You had to get like a special materia to get rid of like the time thing, but he
Yeah.
was still hard.
It's still hard. I'd go back and do that again.
Is that the bull that's in the sand and
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like the red
Yeah.
guy and the green one
Yo,
that would
okay.
fly around the map.
Emerald was I was able to beat Emerald, but I don't think I was able to beat
My good sir.
Ruby. Yo, I told you when I finished playing the playthrough the one time, right? I wound up playing it again, but before I got to the end of the game, I stopped and I leveled the heck out of my characters, bro. I was grinding. Okay? I went every place in that game to get every bit of weapon. Like I got all of their the Ultimate Blade, everything. I got all of that stuff.
What was Cloud's like final limit break where he would go into Onima Slash or
Ultimate
something?
Slash, yeah.
Ultimate Slash, where he used it on Sephiroth like
Yeah.
at the end, like, and you could get that where he would just like and then like finish it off with the thing where he
final
jumps in-
slash and
yeah.
just-
oh my god, oh man, I loved it. Yeah.
So, did you guys see Final Fantasy 16 trailer? Okay.
no, because it's not 7.
Well, listen, look, don't get me wrong. I did play 15. I did like 15. It was very big on it felt very grand. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming they're gonna do the same thing with 16. Keep that grand feel. Plus, the only thing I do like about the new Final Fantasy games is the fighting mechanics are very big on Kingdom Hearts. So you are doing the slashing, you are doing the magic in real time, which is big. You know what I mean? As opposed to 7, where it was completely turn-based and you had to wait to the bar.
Like,
you
please,
know what I mean?
please don't hit me one more
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Please don't hit me one more time. Oh, yes, he has 1 life left. Okay, he got 1 HP left. Okay.
I'm over here
It's
trying
my
to-
turn. Knights of the Round.
So yeah, so I did not see it, but I probably would still play 16 though. I like the Final Fantasy games, no matter which one it is.
Here's the great thing. I have Final Fantasy 15. I've never opened it. It's still sealed in the packaging. It's still there.
I think the last Final Fantasy game I played
I'm
was
sorry.
the one with Lightning. So what was it, like 12 or 13?
12.
It was on Xbox.
12, yeah.
that was the last one. I
12
played.
and it had like 12-2. No, that was 12
That was-
and then it had 10 and 10-2.
Yeah.
10 was
10
good.
was good.
I love
Titus.
10.
Oh,
10
man.
was good. That was good.
Well, let's.
Xanderland. Oh man.
Then they had
Get me off
the
another
what was
tangent.
that underwater water ball game that they had?
Yeah,
I forgot
That looks like
that was
the
pissing
thing
me
from
off.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh
It
yeah,
does, don't it?
I always thought of it, and I'm looking at me and my buddy were talking about it the one time, and I'm like, it looks like Rocket League but underwater.
What was it called?
I forgot, but I love that. It like I said, mini games in Final Fantasy were always fun.
Always been great.
Like, because they extended the gameplay. So when Larry said he made 100 hours in that game, it probably was from the mini games.
Yeah. Like gameplay is all like maybe like 30 minutes.
Nah.
One disc was like at least 20 hours, bro.
Easy.
No, I feel like it was
It's like-
the first disc was. Oh, now I'm going back to 7. But wasn't like the first disc like all Midgard,
All
and then you
Midgard.
went out into the world, and that was like disc 2.
Yeah.
and then 3 was like
like
the
the
final
ending
boss.
When
Yeah.
you start disc 2 is when you start meeting like the Sids.
Sephiroth.
And that's
Yeah.
when you
And then
got
Genova.
deeper into the storyline of Sephiroth
And
and
Genova.
his relationship
Oh,
with
man.
Cloud.
Yeah.
And I found out that Cloud wasn't really Cloud, but
He
he's
was
like
a
Cloud.
clone.
Yeah, yo, so crazy.
So
Sorry, Kev.
The dude is so boss that he just announces his name in his theme.
Sephiroth.
No, listen, One Wing Angel will always be my favorite theme
Yup.
for him. Always be my favorite theme.
all right, well, let's move on from the Final Fantasy world for a second. All right, what else we got?
You mentioned it. It's your
Yeah, I
fault.
know. That's all right. Like I said, it's fun watching you guys.
That was a team derailment. I can't take credit for that.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
Douglas
listen,
are correct.
I needed that.
That brought back a lot
So,
of really great memories
yes.
on that one.
Let's talk about Street Fighter 6.
It's
Okay.
a fighting game.
All right, next.
I'm a DOA guy.
Okay.
I haven't played that in a long
Dude, I
time.
love DOA, man. That was
Dang.
the best.
This episode just be like, what was your all-time favorite game?
Well, pretty much.
That's what it's going to. I think that's actually where Kev may be going anyway.
At
so
some
we'll
point,
see.
yeah.
Let's try and steer this back around. Kev, there is one big trailer I know you were dying to talk about.
And
why is it Marathon?
It was no, it wasn't Marathon. It was
like
it was the Cat Quest thing that they announced there.
Oh, that cat quest looks sick, dude. You get to go in the litter box
That,
and like,
that game looked.
I
I,
have no
don't
idea. I
know
didn't
why
watch
they.
it.
I don't know why they. Anyway, but
in the litter
the
box,
one
it was
game
so
that.
crappy.
the last boss is a laser pointer.
But the one game I'm very. The one game I'm very excited for is a game that's coming out this fall, and we just watched the gameplay for it because Mike and George didn't see it.
Sorry.
Once again, hey liar, George.
And Mike. What?
George,
I'm sorry,
don't
buddy.
throw me under the bus, dude.
You got the double-decker bus now. No, I'm kidding.
But Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
We got it was the longest out of all the games that they announced. It was 12 minutes. It was a whole mission. They showed us a whole mission. And we got to see Spider-Man in his symbiote suit. Looks fantastic. It looks just from the comics, but a little updated. And I appreciate that.
Well, like to Mike's point, he was talking about there's a texture. You know what I mean? It's not just a flat suit. It looks like flesh.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of the Christian Bale Batman suit a little bit because it looks like it's got like the padding and other things.
okay, I
like
can see that.
If not like the Flash Thompson Venom suit, where he, I'll get into that later.
It reminded me of the little gooey thing in Guardians of the Galaxy where they had to go to that planet and it was like skin-like. Remember that?
yes,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
gave me that kind of vibe.
but it
But yeah.
definitely looked like it was loose and greasy, but not like like Venom, like Venom movie type of loose and greasy
Right.
look.
Like it didn't
But-
look a little slimy.
right,
Yeah, like textured slime.
It-
right.
like
looked
it-
it'd be, it
like
looked
it
like it'd be scraped off him.
yeah.
Like it reflecting off the sun, you could see like the glint, like the gloss and everything.
Yeah, and it had like little
I'll give
divots
it
and stuff.
I'll give it a 9.2 on the slime meter. It's pretty good.
That makes sense.
yeah.
Makes sense.
But I mean that gameplay looks so good. We're getting a switch between Peter and Miles. It's so clean.
Yeah.
The transitions are so clean.
Yeah, that was. I've never seen anything where it went from a cutscene to the game so seamlessly.
Yeah.
Like that scene where he's like going and water skiing. I didn't know that was gameplay. I
Yeah.
thought that was, and then I see the little icons where like they were saying like
Spider
dodge.
sense, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and then Kev was like, yeah, no, that's gameplay.
That's what I'm saying. Like it reminded me of Uncharted.
Yeah.
With like where it goes into these big bombastic.
From Shaggy. Boombastic.
I said, I messed
I
up.
was, it came out of my mouth and I was like, man, I said that twice.
That's
But it
Mike's
goes
word of the
in
day.
These big set pieces, and it just flows between them. It was impressive.
Very much so.
It feels cinematic. It feels like you're watching a movie, but I'm playing it.
But yeah, it engulfs you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really engulfs you. And oh my God, Miles.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh my God.
My God, Miles.
Oh my god!
It made sense why they had to give Peter the symbiote because everyone's gonna be like, I want to play as Miles.
Play Miles, all the crap that you can do now.
Yeah, well,
Like
His new power.
like,
anyone peek that?
yeah, the tightrope thing is cool. I like that, especially if you're
Thank
doing like
God.
those sneaking
And
around missions.
And thank God you could finally take out 2 people at once
one
instead of.
time.
Oh
That's-
my
yeah.
God, that was
mean,
that was my one complaint about the game.
the man had 2 hands.
Exactly.
There you go.
So
He needed the other one for balance.
It was kind of tiring to go like,
okay, wait for the guy to go.
bing. No. Bing. What's that? There you go. That one.
It wasn't even like. It was more like slowly walk. Like, come on,
Wait,
get,
do that
get
again,
your
Kev?
spots. I can get him.
Kev, do that again.
What?
Do that again.
Don't do it again. He's setting you up, bro.
I don't even remember why I did. But okay.
The walking gesture. The henchman.
What was he holding?
No, I wasn't even thinking about that. I just thought it was funny. He was like,
Put the dongle.
it's like he's dancing.
He's got the gun in his hand.
He's got a gun.
He's got a gun. But yeah, Miles has new powers.
Yeah. Now I want to know, like, what exactly are they talking about here? Because so first off, like my man did a straight Hadouken in the
Hadouken!
game. But like in the Miles Morales game that you have to finish, in the Miles Morales game, his powers was definitely like orangey yellow,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And you saw in the
now-
trailer. You saw in this one. When he did the alley oop, he grabbed the drone. His lightning was like yellowish orange.
But when he did the Hadouken move,
The Hadouken move.
It was it was blue.
Like his powers was definitely blue, and that's what they were talking about. Oh, and remember the girl henchman, whoever was there, was like, make sure he don't use his new powers.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is going on with the Miles?
You saw
Oh
it.
my goodness.
You saw it on the left. I realized it like the second time I watched it. The left hand side when you see how you could use your abilities and everything. Two of the slots were blue and 2 of the slots were orange or yellow. So like,
So you're thinking like different electricity and stuff like that?
what if that's from the explosion? This is a little spoiler, but the end because you didn't play it, you didn't finish it.
Something happens at the end.
Earmuffs.
I can't.
Something happens at
I mean, I'll play it eventually, so whatever.
The explosion. He absorbs the
he absorbs an explosion.
the bomb. What
It's
if-
a bomb!
What if that's where he gets it from?
Possibility.
That's
And that just enhanced his powers even more.
Could also be just a gameplay feature where you pick up different power-ups for your blue and your yellow.
maybe.
Let
But
you
they
branch
mentioned
off that way.
But remember, they mentioned new powers, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
something had to happen for him to get something.
This was you could tell the gameplay was in the middle of the story. Because
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Miles didn't know that Peter had the symbiote. He's like, hey man, new threats. So
So
this-
that must have been
this must be
midway
in the
through.
middle somewhere. They had to give Peter the symbiote because
I mean, we all knew it was gonna happen. Like,
no, because of how popular Miles is and people love playing as Miles.
what I think the gameplay is from what it looked like is that you're gonna play both characters, but the game's gonna dictate to you which characters at what times. You know what I'm saying? So from that particular mission, and I don't know if that's just because of the gameplay trailer that they wanted to show, whatever. But like, it looks like they have it where they're both at the same time. But
But if you had to choose,
I mean, if you had to
which one,
choose.
you want to use the one that's
I ain't
just
gonna
punches
lie.
really hard and jumps really high, or the one that does all of that and have electricity powers?
I don't know, man.
And
After that
can be
Venom suit,
invisible.
that Venom suit, I'm going with Peter. That thing looks nuts.
That's the reason why he
You
had
had to have the symbiote. Yeah.
I mean, listen,
Because
y'all did
that's how
the
you
right
bounce
thing.
it off.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And then just the flying through New York, like with
They got
Miles,
the spider wing. They got the web wings.
Not even that though. Like the smoothness of like just because I mean I don't know. For me, like when you have old Spider-Man games, the texture of the buildings looks weird.
Yeah.
It's so smooth, and then that whole speed up thing with Miles that he was like going through, and he was like, dum, 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 and he just like sped up. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
Was it Peter who like went through like the train car?
Yes.
yeah, and then he got like a speed boost from that. That thing is crazy. Just the smoothness of the swinging is nuts.
It did like a little spiral like twist.
Yeah, because it was like in the original one where we would go through like the side of the buildings and the steps. You would go through it and you do like a spin move.
Right.
It's kind of like that, but he did it to a train. Oh my god!
So good.
So
And
good.
It's you got Lizard, Craven, and Venom in this game.
And And Kev made a good point when we were watching it earlier. We didn't know who the last reveal was. Mm-hmm. I mean, from what it looked like, it looked like Mysterio. But again, that could have been like not the final.
His head was
drop.
need to be more
Dome.
domey.
It was domed.
No, it wasn't.
The one
Not
on
like
the-
the whole thing.
Yeah,
it was like a normal head.
No, it was this.
All right, we're talking about in the beginning where they show Craven in the jungle. He kills the guy that apparently was searching for him, and then his henchman came with a pad and showed him New York, and it showed all the characters from Black Cat, Spider-Man, Miles, Prowler, all the villains.
For some reason.
Yeah,
He was in the first one.
Taskmaster.
He was in the first game.
Oh, I never know.
He was like a little side quest. He kept.
Oh, yeah,
He kept
yeah.
attacking Peter for some reason. And then in this little snippet you see on the right hand side, they're about to show someone else. But it cut right before they showed the whole face.
Wait, what if it's Daredevil?
Hell's Kitchen was definitely in the very first game, and he was mentioned.
Yeah. Dude, what if it's Daredevil, Matt Murdock?
Because we got Kingpin.
Kingpin was on the top.
Family.
What?
Kingpin's in the prison.
What?
It could be so many possibilities.
That would be perfect because guess what? We're getting all this Daredevil stuff next year.
So you think like Daredevil DLC?
Like they did with Black Cat.
Daredevil is
Can you
like
get the team up with Peter and Matt?
Like, think of this, like something that a lot of people don't realize. Like Daredevil is like an acrobat. Like,
Yeah.
he may not be as fast as Spider-Man, but he's not far off.
No, he's not. We've seen what he can do in that Netflix show.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Not even that in the little snippet from No Way Home.
Oh,
With
yeah,
the brick. He was
yeah.
slightly faster than Peter was.
Yeah.
So you
When he grabbed the
you
brick.
could probably wrap the engine around him, and
Could you imagine?
Can you? Oh my God.
Because they said the Avengers are in the West Coast right now. You got Doctor Strange, even though he didn't specifically say strange. It's just something a little strange about that building.
Oh yeah, when they went past like
Yes.
the what do they call it? The
It makes sense.
Sanctum Sanctorum. Yeah.
And all they have to do is kind of mimic what they did with Arkham,
Yes.
because that's like all Daredevil would be
Is a Batman that can't
What-
see.
exactly.
Literally.
So the same counter
Look at
movement.
there's a joke here, and I'm just not doing it because I'm not. I'm not doing it.
Get away from the Affleck.
Where were they?
Get away from the Affleck.
No, I'm just like, never mind.
Not good. But no, I'm just saying this. No, if you just take the ground level, because what made Spider-Man's like fighting in the game so great is that
Street
the
level
aerial
fighting.
stuff.
Oh, I mean, it's a mixture for me. I always feel like the street level fighting because he can do both. Because the street level fighting is kind of cool too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that I can uppercut you up in the air. I tear you up in the air. I can swing while I'm in the midst of fighting you in mid-air.
Touche.
Swing over here and then literally grab you over here and pull you towards me. And I'm doing all that up in the air. And that's something that you didn't have that element
you're
of doing
saying
Batman.
you have Daredevil come in and take on 25 thugs on the ground, and you get your nice little alert above your head from his sonar location, and he feels the muscles moving,
You're right. Exactly.
and then you do your little fighting rhythm game.
Give
beat.
us a Daredevil video game.
It may
There
heck,
was, there
if it's
was a Daredevil
working
video
on it.
game planned for the PS2 era, and it fell to pieces.
Well, if
yeah.
Insomniac, so
Are you thinking
is
what I'm thinking?
if that Daredevil is real, you're telling me that Insomniac will have the power to do Spider-Man with Miles Morales, with a Daredevil and a Wolverine?
Yeah, because they're doing a Wolverine game too.
Oh, man, yeah, that's right. I forgot about the Wolverine game.
Making their own little universe.
Family. Can you imagine?
Wow, that'd be crazy.
Can you
That would be so crazy.
like? Yeah, I want Daredevil now. I want that person to be Daredevil.
Yeah, like because I was thinking about it because, like you said, Wilson Fisk was in there in like that whole like diagram thing, and why wouldn't they have Daredevil too? Those two go
It makes
hand in
sense.
hand.
That's his number one enemy right there.
And now I'm kind of wondering on that map, is that area where he's at Hell's Kitchen area?
I don't know New York.
I'd have to
well.
look at the map and double check it. But what if that is Hell's Kitchen? Because
don't
if that
think
is
so.
Hell's Kitchen on the map, then that is
No,
Daredevil.
I don't
There's-
think so. I think it's in Manhattan.
That it was Manhattan. They were showing the scene was showing Craven, the city of
Nope.
Manhattan.
No, it's in the other side though.
Was it on the right hand side across the river? So then it's,
Across,
it's
next
Queens
to
then.
next to the raft.
That's Queens then. All right, so then it's probably not. But still,
But
it's
in
a possibility. It's
in all
huge.
honesty, if Daredevil travels all over the daggone place in New York,
Yeah, pretty much.
you know, like maybe the last place that he smacked somebody was over there in Harlem.
You got smacked
whatever,
by
you know what I
Daredevil in Harlem.
Like it's
We could see another
man.
street hero. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm
I think
saying,
that
because
it could be
Spider-Man-
Luke Cage, it could be Jessica Jones, it could be anybody at this point.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't see a Jessica Jones in an Insomniac game or whatever like
No,
that.
thank you.
You know,
I mean,
drinking mini game.
yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
Press X to drink a beer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Luke Cage possibly, but again, we didn't
That'd
see
be
him in
fun.
that Harlem section of the city.
Mm-hmm.
So my next guess would be Daredevil, like, and that would be perfect
Or
because
it could
again,
just be another Spider-Man
because
character.
look, I mean,
It could be.
2099 just
where
comes
was
back.
Black Cat at? Black Cat was up there near.
She was on. She was up
on the
there.
left.
She was on top.
She
of
was
on
the
left,
first
but She
one.
was like right under. When is she like right underneath Fisk?
Yeah, like on the left hand side of Fisk.
That don't make sense.
Well, Black Cat is everywhere though. She's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Daredevil can be everywhere too.
Oh, all right, man. Listen,
As I
look,
said,
I'm gonna stick to
there
my
you go.
theory, and hopefully that's Daredevil, because I would. God, it would be great.
Daredevil.
Frickin' devil.
This game is going to be game of the year. I'm calling it right now. Spider-Man 2, game of the year.
It was Game of the Year when the first ones and Miles Morales extension came out. So
No, it was. It was the nominee.
it was not.
no.
The first one.
The first
was.
the first Spider-Man lost game of the year. It lost to God of War.
It's always
Or
God of War.
is it? No, is it God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2? I think.
Man, come on.
Oh, come on.
That's a alley oop for
Google.
Spider-Man.
Come on. That's
Easy alley oop, man.
as good a decent as that game was. That's not.
Yeah, like
no,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Red Dead's great, but it's not Spider-Man. Like
It's not Spider-Man.
it's not Spider-Man.
Gotta be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
2019. Yeah. Was it 2019 or 2018 Spider-Man came out?
Good question. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I
we're
remember
still
it was right
playing
after-
like crazy. So,
It's been a long time.
then when did the PS5 come out?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? So 2020.
Oh, no, it'd be 2018.
So
18
it
then.
has
Okay,
to be
so
18. Yeah.
Hold on.
It has to be 18 because Miles came out in 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
Times are ticking there, Kevin.
Yeah, the nominees from that year, it was God of War, Monster Hunter, Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Spider-Man. And I think
God of War 1.
Yeah.
God of War 1.
They hands down.
You can stop looking.
Yeah.
God of War 1.
you never know. Red Dead Redemption.
God of War has won.
God of War guaranteed 1.
Yeah.
That year.
I'd be mad if we were just saying that. We're wrong.
No, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
God
sure
of War.
I'm
Yeah, there you go.
correct.
God of
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption was second.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure that was accurate.
So, anyways, yeah, Spider-Man 2 looks great. And Insomniac, you got my money.
There.
A wallet.
I got nothing, bro.
On the
I got whatever left.
Phil, you on now?
on the computer, just looked like a black box. Like, what he dropped? wallet.
So I have a little theory before we continue on about anything else, but I have a theory because we know in the end, Miles saying, "Oh, he's never like that," and Larry, you brought this up when we were FaceTime and you watched the trailer, how with that be greater together, and you see the vent, you see the symbiote, and you see the lightning, take over. What if in the story, Peter goes ballistic, and Miles has to ask Craven to help?
Okay, I don't know about the Craven thing,
Probably not Craven.
but
But what if Miles got to duke it out and
In a bell tower and get them subsonic noises.
yeah,
jump?
should I tell them what like
That was my theory. I
in
think
the- in the
it'd
title?
be cool if Miles asked Craven to help because,
that won't be cool.
No.
Get that
Why
loser.
Craven though?
well, in the comics he faced Peter when he's in the black suit.
Loser.
Oh, I mean, true. But for Miles to ask Craven for help though,
That's-
I don't see
I
that.
don't think it would be who would ask him. I think it's just so happens that
happen?
just to happen.
Yeah, but then what would that entail? Would that entail that Kraven actually wins with Miles and Peter dies or something?
Yeah, because he will want to hunt him.
Yeah.
And see, here's my thing.
And then Kraven will kill himself after because he killed
Because
Spider-Man.
he's a loser.
But like, if you look at the ending title, right, and you saw the symbiote kind of going over the name man, going over the word man, and then you saw that blue lightning strike the symbiote, and then it goes away, and then it highlights Spider-Man. So just that's when I was talking to Kev, I was like, I think they're kind of preluding, showing that Miles' lightning can be the one thing that can
Separate.
separate and eliminate the Venom symbiote.
So, in just real quick, in the original, the symbiote suit didn't like noise, right? It was a specific frequency. Lightning can technically still be considered a frequency.
I think, I think down the line they show more that Venom also doesn't like lightning and everything. And
It hurts his eyes. Why y'all looking at me like that? Why y'all do that to me?
because when you said that, I just think of episode 3. I have the power to save the ones you love. As his face is just burning from the lightning reflecting off of Mace Windu's lightsaber. You must choose. Sorry.
Wow.
We still went Star Wars at some point. Yeah, buddy.
That's the second dive into Revenge of the Sith we did.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
you can't not. It just
I
happens.
mean, y'all literally went into Star Wars and you had to mention DC. I just didn't want to bring that up, but of course you mentioned DC as well.
Of course.
That's just what you do.
And you know what it was?
Mike, it's what you do.
And
No shame in my game, dude.
I mentioned Batman the game because the Arkham games are
so
amazing.
So you started and then finished.
No. He was talking about DC way before I even mentioned the game. Anyway, please continue.
All right, Kev, what else we got?
Well,
I must have blacked out.
It's so natural for you. It just comes out. Go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry.
oh, it's okay. So just a little recap of Showcase. I think it was a pretty cool showcase. There's some games I'm really interested in. And a lot of them were a lot like Dragon and Magic and everything. And a lot of people are kind of
Dragons.
talking about it. Like it feels like it's the same thing every year because you get some of the shooter and then you got a lot of Magic and swordsman stuff. It feels like the same thing. I want you guys take on that. What you guys think about that?
Let's flash back to 15 years ago where everything was a brown battlefield between Gears of War, Call of Duty, and all those games. It's just evolved into something different that everyone wants to play.
People are
for,
tired
you
of
know?
shooting each other because they know how toxic it can get.
Oh, we know.
we know. We know. You know what it is though? It's a lot of fantasy stuff has been coming out more and more lately with Game of Thrones. You know, we had they had the Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out. It's something that people are getting into. You know what I mean? A lot of D&D players in general, because actually D&D is taking the world by storm a little bit now. So it's just something that people are getting into, and you're gonna get a phase. You know what I mean? It's just something that's always gonna be there.
Yeah, that's what I'm hitting.
Yeah.
Again, 15 years ago, it was the browns and the grays and everything looked the same.
Yeah.
And now we got all these.
I mean, it's just the evolution of gaming. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's always going to change. You're always going to have a different season of game that's going to come up. And now you're seeing things like, battle royale style games. I mean, it's shooters, but you're going to see at some point battle royale games are going to turn into swords and shields and stuff like that, which doesn't sound like a bad idea. Sounds pretty cool, actually. But yeah, it's just it's a revolving door. You're just gonna see things come in and out, and it's just gonna be like, oh, this team over here did this kind of game. Let's do the same thing. It did really well, and it's bandwagon jumping. So it is what it is, man. As long as good games are continue to be made, I will be an avid gamer.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I think finally too, the technology finally caught up to what we want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, if you can imagine going back to the Phantom Blade, if you can imagine Phantom Blade trying to come out in early PS4 times, that game would have looked horrible.
Yeah.
So that's when the game would have been very brownsies and dirt roads with grass that's not grown because it's dying. It would look horrible.
Yeah.
But in looking at it now, it looks absolutely amazing. But technology wise, it's like they came such a long way. So now they got the power to go ahead and make a fantasy like game and actually make it look good, and feel good and have a good storyline. And godly, like you said, all the parrying and stuff like that, you wouldn't have had that in the PS3 or 4.
No, it would have just been like a hack and slash game, and you would have
Absolutely.
just been pressing whatever buttons to hit somebody, and then you would have a life bar. But that's taking it a step further, where now you're thinking of it in the mechanics of, if I attack this way, I block this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're taking that out the way. And then to Mike's point, he was talking about, like, what am I doing with the left and right, thumbsticks? Am I fighting with that? Like, remember the old Fight Night game?
Oh yeah.
Fight Night Champions. You had the thumbstick, and you would do rights and uppercuts with that, and your arms were the thumbsticks. So, like, what if that has to do with the game? And that's a crazy mechanic if they do throw something in there like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. I have one more question for you guys, but I want everyone at the table to comment about this too down below on YouTube. Let us know what you think about this question and give us your best answer. So, we've had a lot of remakes, remasters through the years. Now, I'm curious, is there a game that you guys played growing up you want them to bring back as a remaster or remake? Because I have mine. I have two, actually.
I have two as well.
I think I have two also.
I think I have 2 or 3 too.
I have a catalog, and we'll be here for the next hour.
Like, dang it, man.
Oh, yeah, let's go down the line.
with it. Let's go.
But for me, I'm going to make this the first one quicker than the other. But for me, as a Call of Duty fan, I want Black Ops 2 back. I loved Black Ops 2. I see. What are you making that face for, Larry? What was that about, man?
Yay, Black Ops.
Wasn't that like a possibility though?
That's not an old game. So I was like,
I mean, Black Ops is. I mean, how old would be Black Ops at this
It was
point? Like,
PS3.
so you're talking about like what, 15 years?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess it was a.
That was my freshman year of high school.
Ouch.
Yep, that hurts.
Oh god.
Just a game that I was always excited for to come home and play. That Black Ops 2 was amazing for me.
It was a great game. I do.
Now,
admit.
the other
I
game.
was excited to come home from work to play them games.
Now, are we going to give 2 and then keep going, or
just
it don't matter.
It's just a 2. Yeah.
Okay, knock them out?
Go ahead.
The second one was
Future warfare.
Loser. Hey, buddy. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, your childhood. Yeah.
Continue.
the next one was back in PlayStation 2 days for me. It was coming home from 4th, 5th grade, and
Here it goes again with the ages.
This game, I loved every single minute of it. It was the original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Kevin. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Can you? Oh.
Now I did love both
Heroes
of them.
versus villains in Tatooine, bro.
Yup.
Yes.
That's why right there, because you get to play all the villains, all the heroes that were on there, and Galaxy Conquest, the
Yes.
campaign where you get to see the 501st become the Empire. So good, and the maps were amazing.
Mustafar. We
Mustafar.
actually saw Mustafar
What
in a video game.
My favorite map was honestly in the Jedi Temple. That was my favorite
yeah,
map.
yeah.
That was my favorite map.
You were killing some younglings.
No, they're already dead when we got there. They were all dead.
Oh, man,
And then
yeah.
Grogu just so happened just
We didn't
already
even-
left the temple.
At that point, we didn't know who Grogu was. We just knew Jedis were getting slain by clone troopers and
Yeah.
Anakin.
And then using cheat codes to unlock Anakin on the dark side.
On the dark side,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
But that game to me, I loved every minute of it. I still have it actually on the PS2 case and everything at home.
They need to make some of these games backwards compatible.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know why. Like, they're just sitting there. Like, I have PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games still. I can't play them.
I believe that won Game of the Year.
Oh, yeah. No, hands down. That
It
definitely
won
is.
something. But yeah, that one to me, I want back more than anything in the world.
Yeah, the remake didn't do its justice for it, man. As much as I loved
No,
it,
no, he didn't.
it didn't do its justice.
But
It looked amazing.
Mike, what do you got?
All right. So I got two. I'm gonna go super old school, 8-bit here, and I'm gonna say, do any of you guys remember Blaster Master?
Family, that was one of mine.
No
Absolutely.
way, yes.
What? Absolutely.
Like,
that was
oh, man, so-
Blaster Master was one of my favorite games.
This was like you. had like this car in this open world in like Nintendo, and you got to like drive it around, and then you got out of the car and it went into like a top-down view, and you got to go into these little areas. It was insane. It was mind blowing.
It was amazing.
It was so good.
The
There
car
have
tape
been
changed.
oh yeah, it did. You get to like drive through the water.
Yo, that thing was amazing.
And like the guy would get out of the car and he'd look like Dig Dug, like he had like this crazy man. But there was like a 3D remake for PS1, and I don't think that did anything. And I think there was like a Wii like shovelware game that like it was like a flash game almost. And I don't know if they ever did any more for Blaster Master.
You know, okay, I'm gonna still stay with. Still stay.
Was it
there.
on your list?
It actually was.
Oh, that's insane.
No, that's awesome though. It's good to know I'm not by myself on this one. Here's where it gets crazy. I just went to my mom's house and she said, "Oh yeah, I was kind of going through all your old stuff." So downstairs is where I had like my Hot Wheels City. You know, still from like 1980s. My Hot Wheels City.
The little
all my
like,
Hot
things that
Wheels.
open up. with
Yeah,
the
they open
legs.
up.
Yep,
The whole thing
yeah.
opens up.
Oh my God.
And I put like a car wash on it
Yep.
and all stuff like that. But in there too, she still has my Atari 2600.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah, I have no idea if it still works. I didn't get a chance to test it, but she still has my Atari 2600, and one of the games that's in there was Blaster Master
Really?
from Atari.
For Atari?
Yes, it used to be a little. Yeah, it was just a car.
Yeah.
and he had to jump over the holes, and when you press the action button, he fired this way and this way.
Oh, that's
So you just
insane.
had to jump over holes.
That thing had like a turret on it.
Exactly. So you shot this
Whoa.
way and this way, and you had the time to get past the holes and the craters and stuff. So yeah, that was one of my all-time favorite games. As like a little lad.
Yeah.
All the way until like when I was like in junior high school, and that's
Me and
when
my
I was
brother
like,
Patrick would
wow.
play it all the time, and like we still talk about it every now and then. But yeah, Blaster Master.
That was it. Yeah, that's a great one.
NES.
Good choice.
And my second is a little further. It came out during PlayStation 1 game time. It was the Legacy of Kain series, starting with Blood Omen and then leading into like Soul Reaver with Raziel. Dude, you got this guy. Oh, like he's a vampire. So vampires have like taken over the world. It's just really, really quick summary. And the king of the vampires, he gets these lieutenants that are converted priests that he killed and made them into vampires because why not make your enemies your new allies? They go into like a metamorphosis, and Raziel emerges the first, and he comes out and he puts up these wings and he says like, he shows Kain, the king of the vampires. He's like, and I had the honor of surpassing my master with more strength at the wings. Kain comes out, he looks at the wings, he comes behind and he rips them out of the socket.
Oh, damn.
And then he has the other lieutenants pick him up and cast him into the Lake of the Damned, where he burns for 1,000 years. And then the dude wakes up. He's blue. He's got no jaw, and he like goes on his revenge quest. And it's
off the hook.
he no longer like he's technically a vampire, but like he no longer feasts on blood. He feasts on souls. So like you have to like impale these vampires and then like rip their soul from their body. But the story and the acting is so master class. It is insane. It is a time-spanning, time-traveling epic that still blows my mind to this day.
And that sounds crazy, but that was absolutely amazing.
Like,
and you.
dude, like the character designs.
You've seen the character before. I guarantee you have.
Raziel.
Because he was this blue character, but he had a rag over his face like a mask. But the rag was over his face because he lost his jaw.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he...
Oh, I have seen him
See?
before.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, like. It's such a cool design. And the music is amazing.
Yeah, he was the man. Wow.
Like this is him as like a vampire, and he comes like strutting out.
I have seen that
and
before.
like Kain just like rips the wings right off of him.
And the way they tossed him. And
Yeah.
Like with those graphics, it was...
Yeah, like the opening
like
FMV.
blocks.
Do yourself a favor if you can like take 2 or 3 minutes and watch the opening FMV. It'll blow you away. Even like the computer graphics for then, like it was a cutscene. It's amazing. The music is done by
goes the score whore.
Yeah. Oh my God. They were an '80s pop group. Boy, want to tell you what I'm thinking? Tell me what's on your mind. Never mind. But
As he
they're-
starts to sing, he's like, "Yeah, no, forget it."
so they had some instrumental tracks, and it's amazing. Do yourself a favor, 3 minutes of your life, and it'll be well worth it.
Good choices,
Yeah.
Mike. Yo,
Like if they can't make that into a video game, make it into an animated series.
yeah. I can
And
see
you
that.
don't have to start with Blood Omen. Blood Omen is like the story of Cain becoming a vampire. And Cain, as he becomes a vampire, at the end of the game has a choice where he can sacrifice his life and save the world, or he can be selfish and damn the world to oblivion. And he damns the world to oblivion. And that's where like the vampires come up and take over the world.
And it's like Soul Reaver was
The sequel to it, but
like,
it was a
that was sequel
completely
to it,
different
but-
game.
It was, in my opinion, that it felt better.
Yeah. So
Than
like
original.
Blood Omen was like a standard like top-down RPG, where Soul Reaver was a like a straight action puzzle game.
Yeah, it's amazing. Wow.
If they can't do a game, do an animated series. Oh my God, I would love it.
I mean, Netflix, pick it up, bro. You're doing Castlevania.
That's that's another.
Castlevania was going.
Because we was the man.
I know.
Oh, God, I love that game. Okay, so my first one, I decided to go with the Fun Realm because I can't go Blaster Master anymore because you got it. That was good job, Mike. But okay, back on PlayStation, when I first got my PlayStation, the introduction for it to me was the disc, the little demo disc, and the thing that always got me was kick, punch. It's all in the mind.
If we want to test me, I'll show you fine.
You took that so back, dude.
Oh God. Okay. Parappa the Rapper.
Kev, no.
What?
What, bro?
Oh,
Lord.
You don't know Parappa the Rapper? Oh my god.
Oh,
That was like the first rhythm game.
Yeah.
yes.
Think of like, you ever heard of Friday Night Funkin'? People play it on like Roblox now. It's like that.
Okay.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
The first level, it's like you're this little dog and you're in a dojo, but the guy's an onion. And there's like little like smell waves coming off his head. It's all done in like cell shading. It looks like a cartoon.
It does, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's so bad but so great at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
Kick, punch,
Yeah,
punch.
yeah. It's like if you get good at it. Okay, well, it's go kick, punch. But when you get good at it, go kick. Punch,
Yeah.
punch.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
it was so good.
I
like-
felt like a DJ.
It's like QuickTime events before QuickTime events, and it's an entire game of it. Oh my God! There was like a sort of sequel to it called Unjammy Lammy.
It was Unjammer Lammy.
Oh, Unjammy. Oh, that was what it was. Yeah.
Unjammer Lammy. That was going to be but the next thing to it. And guess what? I just found my Unjammer Lammy.
You have it?
I have
Oh,
it.
dude, I have a PS3 that'll play like backwards convertible games,
I mean,
man.
just hand it over to you. So you can start. Like, oh God. So like that whole entire line of games was great for me. Now, naturally I'm one of the biggest Legend of Zelda fans from history's past all the way into today. Y'all guys already
You
know.
talk about
Yes,
it all
sir.
the
Tears-
time.
all the time. Tears of the Kingdom. Oh my God. Tears of the Kingdom. That would have been Game of the Year. Spidey. Okay, Spidey took over. Okay. But going back into like kind of like the rhythm type of stuff, y'all, you may know this. Remember a game called Bust the Move?
Yes! Holy
Yes, there you go. Bust the Move.
dude, you.
Did I
Wow.
bring it back for you? Okay.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Okay, but mind you, I just found that game too.
What don't you have?
Dude, I was like all my favorite games. Like, oh, I got it. Bust the Moves was a dance rhythm game, and once again, it had to do with with patterns. You push the button a certain type of way and what have you. And yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Oh, Bust the Groove. Forgive me. Bust the Groove, not Bust
okay.
the Move. Bust the Groove. Forgive me.
I remember.
and-
I don't think I ever played it.
Oh, that game there, it had a number of different characters, and the different characters had different dance styles depending on what you chose. So like one could be a you know, like a old disco dancer. My favorite ones were the two aliens that danced together. Yo, they were ridiculous. The game was amazing.
It was like DDR before like Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah,
Something like that,
except it didn't have anything to capture your movement. So
Yeah.
your
You just
movements
did what-
was
yeah,
the
controller,
timing of
yeah.
the game.
Awesome.
Yeah, timing of all the buttons. The game was absolutely amazing, and
the year-
they
the
never
year
try to
really
come out with anything extra with that. Like I'm sure it was kind of like faddish, but like stuff like that is like those games brought back a lot of good memories for me. Besides like the Blaster Masters and the Legend of Zeldas and stuff like that. Those are like.
But
the
rhythm games are just like it's almost kind of like obsolete now. Like it's so
Yes.
weird.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, it's like
Like oh, she gone.
yeah, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're gone. You go straight on.
Yeah, no.
But yeah,
that's-
there you go. Those are the fun ones. I mean,
Those are
could
fun.
go serious, but no, like fun choices. Those are the ones from my childhood.
Okay. All right. So for me, I wound up finding out that they wound up re-releasing this, but it wasn't remastered or anything like that. It literally was the game from GameCube into the Switch, and they had it on the PlayStation 4 like catalog, whatever. But it was the Tales of Symphonia, and that storyline is probably one of my favorite. It's very big. It reminds me of Final Fantasy, but this one was even crazier because it was about there was a planet, and like each planet sacrifices a character to become an angel. But it winds up being out that the angels were actually evil, and what they did was they were actually two planets siphoning each other's life forces through this big tree. And the tree would give like one planet like prosperous times while the other one was decaying. So in order for them to not have a decaying world, they would have to sacrifice a person. The person would become an angel, and then they would, pretty much balance things out. But it wound up being that the game, they wound up finding out what happens, and now you're on this quest to go defeat the angels. And the biggest angel was, his name was Mythos. And it was like, and their wings were just so elegant, it was so cool. And it was probably one of the first games that didn't have a turn-based style RPG gameplay. You can actually play multiplayer with your friends on the same GameCube and fight bosses together.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was so. The only bad thing about it was like the screen was like if you were the main character, like the player one, the screen was following you. So like when I was younger, I was smart. I'm like, I'm gonna play the character that's long range, so everybody else can see who they're fighting. So I would take like the healer. Yeah, I mean the healers were crazy, but they had like different like you had a magic user, healer. One was a summoner, and she would summon these like spirits through these cards. But yeah, super Final Fantasy-esque, but it was such a good storyline. So if they need to remake that and actually make it better and look cool, I'd be down for that. But if not, I'm still probably gonna get the re-release of it because that game was that good. So
That's the crazy storyline.
yo, yeah, that storyline is.
I've heard of it, and don't they show up in the Smash games?
I don't think so.
Maybe.
No, not those characters though.
Okay.
Like they had like another set of Tales story. Like the Tales series is massive. Actually,
Really?
I didn't realize how big it was. I always just thought it was that one. And then they had like Tales of Vesperia and the Tales of this. Like there was a lot of Tales series, and they were trying to compete with Final Fantasy at the time. But that Tales of Symphonia, I think they wound up making like a Tales of Symphonia 2, but it didn't hit as well as that first one. That first one was just it, man. But my second one, and I'm going off of Larry with the fun stuff. You ever play Pokemon Puzzle League?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you played Pokemon Puzzle League. Bro, Pokemon Puzzle League was like Tetris, but with Pokemon.
I'm the Pokemon fan here.
Yo, yes. Do you agree with me though?
Oh yeah.
Can I bring that back?
You bring that back.
Like any of those Pokemon games from back in the day, can I get a remake? Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Coliseum.
They did. They
Pokemon
brought that.
Snap.
They brought that back.
Snap! Yes!
They remade that one too.
They made a Pokemon.
They didn't make
Snap?
Snap again.
Yes, they did.
No, they did. What?
They
When?
did. And on Switch, they came out I think last year.
Now, is it a remake or is it just a re-release?
A remake.
That's the port.
But the Coliseum and the Stadium one, they're bringing back all the old style games for the Switch.
Yeah?
And Stadium is in there.
Oh, yes, dude. Stadium was so good.
Mhm.
Stadium was so good. It was like the handheld Pokemon game, but you were able to do it. You're seeing these characters in 3D and they're duking it out on like an actual like Pokemon gym stage. Like it's
That was
crazy.
big for Pokemon.
Yeah,
that was big for Pokemon fans.
But Pokemon Puzzle League was so much fun because it was like I said, it's Tetris, and what it is, you guys are against each other. You have 3 Pokemon that you got to fight each other with, and then you would go ahead and break down the bricks and do combos, and the combos would send it to the other player, and they would have to break it. You know what I mean? So then you would have like a Pokemon battle. They had like the whole gym, like the Pokemon Gym Masters thing, the Pokemon Masters thing, whatever they call it.
Master EX.
No, it was like Pokemon Master. Like you became a Pokemon Master at the end, but you had to go ahead and get all the gym badges.
Yeah.
Like they had that.
Pokemon Champion Master. Yeah.
But what really took that game next level was the 3D option. So it was like Tetris, but it was 360 degrees.
Ooh.
So you're doing combos against your other player, like against the other player, but you also got to keep a tab of the opposite side because they can be throwing combos on that side. Yeah. So it was really, really cool. And that game got toxic.
What system was it for?
Nintendo 64.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, 64. Me and my cousins, I
was gonna say,
think
that
I
game
still
got
have
toxic
it.
without internet.
You don't know my cousin. Me and him were always like, you always have one family member that's like your rival.
Yes.
My cousin was my rival. We duked it out and everything. And like there was days I was a sore loser. There were days he was a sore loser. But like, and they would just be like, "Oh, you guys just playing a game, relax." I'm like, "No, this is serious."
Like do her death, lady.
No, Pokemon Puzzle League was how you just disputed stuff. Like if you were trying to fight each other, it was like, "No, bro, get the controller, let's go." Pokemon Puzzle League on.
Dang.
Yeah, it got real.
That was the life breaker.
I mean, listen, man, it was one of those games too, and like, we would do tournaments in the house back in the day. Like we'd have everybody over, and it'd be like, "All right, I'm the lasting winner. All right, who's next?" And just kind of keep it.
I'm glad you said that. How do you guys feel about a Mortal Kombat tournament since a new Mortal Kombat's coming out?
For us,
A GNT Mortal
a
Kombat.
GNT.
A GNT Mortal Kombat tournament.
Are we playing anything outside of 1, 2, and 3?
Yes, Mike. The new one is what he's referring to.
Actually, it's technically Mortal Kombat 1, so yeah.
It is actually.
Yeah, that trailer did look pretty cool.
It did look really good.
Like it's a great way to reset everything.
And they're bringing
because,
in
like,
was it Homelander? Or whatever?
They're bringing Homelander. They're bringing
Homelander?
Really?
the guy,
Yeah.
the,
Dude,
the,
but
the
so
father
many
from
people showed
Invincible.
up.
I forget his name.
Oh,
The father
yeah.
from Invincible.
The guy who J. Jonah
main guy?
Jameson
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah,
I
I don't know his name. I just know
forget
he's
his
from-
name.
The fake Superman guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who rips them apart.
Yeah, they're putting him in there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
Like a lot of like crazy people show up in Mortal Kombat, like the Turtles,
Yeah.
RoboCop, Terminator.
And that's the beauty about the Mortal Kombat series. Like they've been able to kind of do what Smash did. You know what I mean? Smash was taking multiple different characters from different games and just throwing them in there. And
That's
now
what they
Mortal-
kind of did with
just,
Injustice.
just
too.
because it's me. Like there was a Mortal Kombat versus DC game.
It was.
There was. It was good.
I always remember the Marvel versus Capcom games.
Yeah, well, DC was like,
Those
we gotta
were-
take what we can get. First Mortal Kombat, get them in
Marvel
here.
versus Capcom was
Let's kill our
it.
characters.
Yep.
let's rip off their flesh and just grab their spines in there.
Because we gotta get what we gotta get.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine
No,
like
I'll be down with
Homelander?
that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it will force me to have to get the game.
Did they say Peacemaker was going to be in there too?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, yeah.
John Cena
Oh.
Peacemaker would be
Yeah.
in the game. You won't see him, but he's there.
Does he do like the dance moves, like the?
Okay. Well.
Now, can I put in an honorable mention?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Back around Final Fantasy 7 times, right afterwards.
Oh dear. Here we go.
Another one of my favorite games that actually came from the same studio. Remember Parasite Eve?
Oh yeah, because it was like I was like, dude, it's Final Fantasy with Resident Evil. It's going to
Yes.
be dope.
I never heard of it.
Yeah.
It was.
It was like
amazingly
spooky Final
dark. It
Fantasy.
was-
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, imagine Final Fantasy spooky.
I mean
If
that
you can
that
imagine,
story
There
was
was like
pretty.
genetic
very
monsters
hard,
and
yeah.
stuff.
I mean, there's
Very horrific.
y'all seen
Yeah.
Genova, right?
You know what? Genova's like not too far off from like
Really?
what the main bad guy looks
Oh,
like.
interesting. Okay.
Do you play this? Oh, I think her name was Aya Bray. She was this little blonde girl that you would play. She was a cop.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
With a red jacket.
Yep.
Red jacket and out of nowhere it's like if she's in reality or she's in, like the realm of ghosts.
Yeah. So
or
you
what have
even use like a handgun.
I never really heard
Yeah,
of it.
it was an amazing storyline, and they tried to come out with a sequel, but it just didn't pan out supposedly. So, but yeah, that
Typical.
was that's my
That's a good one. It's a
That's a
deep
good
dive.
honorable mention. Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, if you guys got a video game that you want to remake or remaster, let us know. Let us know. We'd love to hear your answers. But yeah, that wraps up this episode, boys. Episode 28.5, 29, whichever one you guys want to bring up.
I got something I want to say though. Shout outs to Kev, because this wasn't easy for him. Yeah. Kev,
You're good.
You all right there?
Shaking. I'm good.
Don't be a barber. Oh, dang, Larry.
But in my head, I'm like, remember what you said to me back in.
What you wanted?
No, you got like they could just put planes now.
You're just gonna need a guy with the lights. Come
Yeah.
on, bring him in.
I was kidding.
But then again, you hear May. Remember what you said to me back at work back in May 15 and 2020, 2019, 2018. I remember that, you bastard. But
Good job, Kev.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Good job, buddy.
Knocked it out of the park.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know this was kind of longer than usual.
I don't even.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't?
No.
What are we at?
We had 45 minutes of us just talking before we even started.
True.
That was some good stuff, though.
It was
It was
good.
good.
Larry's
Make
had
it a color
fun.
shirt.
Oh, hey, sorry. No, I'm kidding.
He beat me up.
I mean, you did break the thing, so.
Yeah.
Payback.
Chop.
Judo chop. I have to
Okay.
explain this.
So sorry.
It'd be funny if he sees the video first. He'd be like,
What? What the crap?
"What happened?"
So $5.
Is it really $5?
Probably not. You can probably get it for like $1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Hey.
Good for me.
Inflation.
$1.25. Sorry.
But anything else you guys want to say before we cut this out?
That'll be good, man.
Don't forget to like, follow,
Yes.
subscribe. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Make sure you guys tap in because there's always going to be new stuff dropping. We're trying to keep it as, I don't know, we're trying to add as much as we can to just all the platforms with Mike with this comic stuff and possible new stuff coming down the line with
Oh, yeah.
Kevin and Larry. So you guys want news, you want new stuff, we're going to post them. We're going to let you guys know when it's happening. So keep an eye out because there's some cool things happening.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We're building. We're expanding. We're going to get.
And not just in our stomachs.
Yeah, I'm trying to lose, brother.
I feel you. I got a wedding coming up.
I'm trying, but I love food way too much for this. Yeah. But yeah, Geeks is the Nerd Table. Signing out for this episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. We're out, people. See ya.
Later.
Peace.
Deuces.